ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹੋਟਲ ਅਤੇ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਣ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਦੀਆਂ ਰਿਪੋਰਟਾਂ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟਸ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੇਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਭਿਆ ਹੈ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਦਾਇਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਲਣਾ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ।
I think shutting down restaurants and recreation was a medicine for a challenge that we didn't have. The surgical approaches to shutting down banquet halls, having rapid testing at the border for essential workers coming back and trucking, initiatives like that, obviously I'd welcome. But in terms of restaurants, we didn't have a single indoor dining incident in Brampton, not a single case in a restaurant. We didn't have cases in fitness. And I think the reverse has actually happened. People that would go to a restaurant where it would be safe, people were wearing masks, there was proper hygiene practices, physical distancing, those smaller social gatherings have now moved indoors into private residences and offices where there's not the same adherence to public health. And so I think we've seen, unfortunately, that has not been helpful, shutting down restaurants. And frankly, it's had economic havoc as well. Like these poor small businesses. Look at Brampton today. It's raining, it's cold. An outdoor patio can work in the spring, it can work in the summer. It does not work in November in Canada, and it's only going to get colder. Well, I think the Premier gave us reason for optimism yesterday. He said that he's looking at modifications to reopen restaurants and recreation in the modified zones. I take that as a good sign. I know it was difficult for him to shut down restaurants. I think given the data says that we have not had a single case in Brampton in a restaurant setting, shows that these professionals were doing their job. They were following all the protocols. And given the fact the numbers have continued to rise despite that modification, shows that hasn't necessarily been the right antidote. Well, right now, like I mentioned, we're only testing people who believe they have COVID. It's not like before where they're testing everyone. And so you are going to see a higher positivity rate. But in terms of protecting essential workers, where we've seen the largest source of our contacting of COVID-19, I would say protecting these essential workers in food processing and transportation logistics, rapid testing. Because what happens if someone's going across the border and like our medical officer...
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਾਡੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਕ ਤੇ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ YouTube ਤੇ।